Hello again, and welcome to another video tutorial about MMS. This video will focus on charts. Charts are a visual way that you can look at your data that's in MMS. You can change it to be a bar chart or a line or a pie chart. You can change your variables and control your axes, and you can also control the way that your data arranges itself, be it in a count, a sum, or an average. And then I'll end by showing how those can be put into dashboards. I'll begin by opening up MMS and going to a view, also known as an advanced find. And let's go ahead and go to sales. So I'll go into my open loan apps, and this will be my view. To get to the chart, it's just here on the right, there's a panel for charts, and it has a few default system charts over here, and then below that are my charts, the ones that I have created and saved. Since this view only has one loan application, I'm going to go ahead and create a new view. I'll make a new advanced find for loan applications, and this time I'll save it and I'll use it in a chart. So I'm going to do ones that have been created this month. And I also want to look at the ones that have a requested amount more than $1,000. So I'll go to requested amount is greater than or equal to 1,000. Before I put it online, I'll edit my columns to make sure I don't have any proprietary information or any kind of privacy breaches here. All right, and so I have requested amount and I have the owner. I'm also going to put in region name here and then use that as part of my axes on the chart. So region name is what we use to determine what lending site the loan application comes from. So I hit OK, and let me see my results. I got 0. All right. Let's try requested amount by client is greater than or equal to 1,000. There we go. So let me go ahead and save this. MMS training. All right, so now what I'll do is I'll close out of here and look at that view. It should be here. I may need to refresh the page, but let me check first. Yes, so let me refresh the page first. So for loan applications, I go into sales, I go to loan applications, and then I look at the MMS training. Then I use this sidebar here, and it shows me not a lot, but it's okay. So what I'll do is I'll go over here to this tab on the top left to charts, and I'll create a new chart. So I'll call this MMS training, and first what I have is the vertical axis. For me personally, it's just easier to think about my horizontal axis first. So for the horizontal axis, I want the region name, and then for the vertical axis, I want the requested amount. And then that gives me that chart. Instead of using a sum, I could also use an average, and that would tell me what the average requested amount is in each region name. Or I could do a count, which would tell me how many loan applications came in with each region, or a count that's non-empty. I could look at what my sum requested amount is, my maximum or my minimum requested amount in each region name. I think for our purposes, I'll use average. That's a little easier to read. It's pretty hard to read here in this small screen, but I'll show you later that you could see it much bigger. Let's see. You can also add in a series here. Say, for example, that I also want to look at the sum and the average, or if I want the count and the average, or the minimum and the maximum, then that can all be manipulated right here. I'm going to go ahead and do minimum and maximum. And then what that will do is it will show it to you side by side what the minimum and maximum is in each region. This is a really good time for me to hit save. So to look at more of your chart and make it bigger, you just drag this guy out. It still looks pretty small because I can't change how big it is vertically. So I'll go ahead and save and close this. And then you can kind of see it. That's a little bit better. All right. So we talked about the chart, and so that one's a bar chart. I'll go ahead and do a line chart. Line charts really make a lot more sense if you're doing something that has more of a temporal aspect rather than a geographic aspect. So let me go ahead and edit this one. Instead of having the region name across the bottom, say I did the created on date instead. So I'll go over here to created on. And they're all in May because I set the advanced find to be in May. But if I change the advanced find, then that would also change my chart. I'll show you what I mean. So I save and close this by hitting save and close. And then here I'll go ahead and modify my advanced find by clicking on the binoculars. And instead of saying created on this month, say I changed it to created on this year. Then I save it and I close it. And when I refresh my chart, here by clicking on the green arrows, then I'll be able to see everything from January, February, March, April, and May. It's still a bar chart though, and I said I would make it into a line chart. So let me change this. Instead of looking at bars, I click here and I tell it I want to look at lines. And one can be in lines while the other one is in bars, or you could have both of them in lines. Or you could change the direction. So I'll save and close so you can see it. And then here at the bottom is my legend. So I have the maximum in blue and the minimum here in red. So let's do another one. Let's look at making it into a pie chart. So for example, if this were to be, let's see, I think maybe I need to make a new chart. Let me try a new chart, and here I can say whether I want it to be a column, a bar chart, an area chart, a line, pie, or funnel. Let's do pie. Then say I want to do status, so I could see the open, won, and lost loan applications, and I'll just do it by account. Okay, so MMS Trading 2, and I save it. Oh, here. Oops. This one's supposed to be the status. Here, let's do status reason. Okay. Actually, let's do status because I know there will be fewer of those and that will be a lot easier to see. There we are. So then the green are the lost, the red are the won, and the blue are the open. And see, if I change the view here, then it will change the chart as well. The chart will always be open, won, and lost, and then it will just gather the information from the view that I select here. For instance, if I look at template 2, I think I set template 2 to only be won applications, so then they're all going to be blue. Or if I'm looking at, let's say I'm looking at something in Dallas, then you could see how many of them are won and how many of them are lost. And let me make sure that I've covered everything. So we talked about changing your variables, we talked about changing your axes and using a count, sum, or an average. Oh, and then the last thing, of course, would be that these charts will actually feed into the dashboards. So let me go ahead and show you a dashboard. This is an example of a dashboard, and I'll get into this, how I use charts and advanced finds to create this on the next video. Thanks again for listening. One more time, my name is Ruth Easterling, and if you want to contact me, I'm at reesterling@axiontexas.org. Thank you. Bye.